Welcome back, fellow soldiers, to this week's Developers Briefing, and that is Developers Briefing number 98. To be honest, I wanted to do this Developers Briefing somewhere next week when I had more time, but when going through the content of this Developers Briefing, I just had to do the Developers Briefing now. The content is just that amazing, and it is something that we've all been waiting for a long time. Now, just before we start, if you are new to this channel or haven't yet subscribed, please do me the favor and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course like the videos that you like. Give me some feedbacks down in the comments and also discuss the stuff that I report on. I always try to get back to you guys in the comments too. That would mean a lot to me. And now, without further ado, let's jump right into it, to the main topic of the Developers Briefing number 98, and that is unit designation. And I think to describe what the developers will bring to you in the future with update number 8, I'll just let them tell you themselves with what they wrote here in the Developers Briefing. We've received brilliant feedback from the community about the need to allow officers to broadcast to the team what the function of their unit is. Currently, in Hell Let Loose, the only information available is the unit name, which we keep consistent to allow for each inter-unit identification, and the type of unit it is: infantry, armored, or recon. The design of Hell Let Loose has always been a constant tension between keeping things functionally as simple as possible while allowing players to specialize into all manner of roles, both individually and as a unit. The community has often asked for specific unit types like artillery or logistics, etc. While we totally agree with the principle of this, we've been very reticent to introduce more and more unit types, as the rule set and architecture behind each is very specific and is delineated to make the code side of things as simple as possible. That said, we've long recognized the need to allow officers to let the rest of the team know what they're focused on a particular task, especially so that the commander is able to get a sense of the resources at their disposal. In Update 8, we are implementing the ability to mark your unit in the deployment menu with several key designations to better quickly let your team know what your intended role on the battlefield is. And ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what the whole community, I think, has been hoping and thinking what we need in Hell Let Loose in the future. It has been a big topic in the Hell Let Loose community, and still is, that we somehow want to inform the commander and also our squad members what our squad is designated to do during the battle, and with something simple as an indicator or something like that that just shows what you're doing on the battlefield, this problem would be solved. And from update number 8 on, the Hell Let Loose devs are giving such an option to us. As you can see on the shown images that I've picked from the Developers Briefing, we will be able to mark our unit as a voice played unit only, so players know that you have to have or are expected to use a microphone when you are joining this unit. Another type is that we'll be able to say more about the unit designation, as I said to you before. This can be set at different points in the battle by the officer, and there will be a small arrow to click, and this arrow will open up a choice of 4 different designations: offensive, defensive, logistics, and artillery. So I think this finally solves the problem if you want to call it that, but it will make stuff a lot easier for commanders, for officers, and also for squad members that don't always have to ask the officer what they have to do during the match if they haven't joined from the beginning on. And as I said, I think this feature will improve the gameplay of Hell Let Loose by a lot. So much for the unit designation. To round this developers briefing off, the devs have also given us some info about what is coming soon concerning update number 8, what we will see in update number 8. And they've also included some pictures from the ongoing Hurtgen Forest overhaul. I've picked some pictures out of them and am also showing them to you right now and during the following minutes. Have a closer look at them. They are just amazing what they are doing with the terrain of the Hurtgen Forest. When I saw that one, I literally couldn't believe that this is the same game that I've just played on, because the whole environment just changes when you can see how they are putting more green into it. There's more stuff that will be moving. It will be more difficult for you to play on it because it will be more difficult to see enemy players, but that's just how it is and probably also how it was. And as I said, they also included some points about upcoming stuff that will be featured in update number 8. And I just want to bring some of them to you. These are points that they'll be going over in the upcoming developers briefing before we get update number 8. For example, there will be a rework of resource nodes to play a specific function on the battlefield, not just something to hide. So they will be worth much more during the gameplay. We don't have just to go on the outside of the map, place them, and that's been it. They will play a bigger role during the battle. They'll also do a deep dive, as they write, into adjusted bullets damage. We've had some talk about that one before. That also includes some more weapon balancing and so on. One thing that I am very keen on is that there will be new engineered deployables, such as hammers, whatever that means, and the ability to upgrade fortifications. And they'll also be addressing how these fortifications are destroyable. I think that's a very, very promising idea. That's exactly the stuff I was waiting for when playing Engineer, so that'll be very, very interesting. One other thing that a lot of players are waiting for is the transport truck and supply truck. And they'll also do a quick go over in a developers briefing where they talk about their functionality. So we'll see how they are supposed to work on the battlefield and how they are supposed to be played by us. To finish things off, they'll also do some more new customization options, and they will also work on expanded level cap and ways that they'll acknowledge your level in-game. So that'll change also a little bit in the future. And now that's already been it for developers briefing number 98, I think. I hope you enjoyed the content that I've provided. If you did so, please let me know. Write down in the comments what you think about the changes that we'll see with update number 8. And as always, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see each other on the battlefield.